Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. And guys, we coming off of Money in the Bank pay-per-view in Fort Worth, Texas. And I tell you, man, I don't know what the consensus is out there. Everybody in the chat, you guys got to let us know.
Let us know.
Are the consensus of what went down at Money in the Bank, the matches, just to show in general the fans back in the building. Brad, how you feel, dog? How you feel?
I feel great. It was so fun to have a weekend of pro wrestling back with fans in the building. And, you know, I will say, well, I'm sure we're going to go over every match. We're going to talk about SmackDown, what we saw there on Friday. But it was just such a fun weekend. It had a good feel to it. It felt like normalcy had returned in some regard.
Yeah, man. I tell you, man, that the crowd noise was deafening at the kickoff desk. And I say, what a feeling to have the universe back in the building. I didn't know how much I missed it, honestly.
Right.
I really didn't. But it was so loud in my headset last night. I thought it was because the sound was turned up. And I took my headset off, and it was even louder. So I was like, "No, let me put them back on." Man, what a feeling, man! And I'm sure the talent went out to the ring last night with a feeling that they haven't had, as well as Friday night that they haven't had in quite some time. But to have it back on pay-per-view. Wow, what a feeling, man. I can only imagine being one of the guys out in the middle of that ring working. Wow. Like I say, man, I was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed after the show last night. Actually, I got back on the road. I didn't get a chance to see all of it. So I got home and of course recapped it and the matches. What should we start, man?
Well, I think there's a lot to start with Money in the Bank, obviously, but really real quick to echo your sentiments, because I got to go see the show on SmackDown, because I said, look, if this is the first show back, I got to see it in person. I got to feel that energy of the crowd. And for me, echoing off of what you said, I didn't realize how much I missed even just being in a crowd of fans for WWE. What it's like is have you ever had sushi from Kroger or H-E-B?
Sucks.
But you know what, though? If it's the only sushi that you've eaten every week for a year, you're like, you know, this isn't that bad. I kind of like it, right? And then you say, hey, Brad, you call me, you say, hey, Brad, let's go to Katana for dinner tonight in L.A. And then you go try Katana sushi, and you're like, holy hell, this is sushi. I've been eating crap for a year. This is terrible, right? That's what it was like. You know what? Like when I was watching during the pandemic, I was like, you know what? That match actually was pretty good. Oh, that show wasn't so bad. And then I really look back at it, and it's not that people weren't busting their asses, but they were missing the key ingredient. Yeah, right? You need the fans. The fans are the wasabi and the soy sauce and all the extra accoutrements that make the meal good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, overall, though, I just really, really, really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed having fans back. So we can start. Do you want to start about just?
Nah, man. We're going to talk about it, but let me get a few plugs in before we get started. August 14th at the World Gym Arena, guys. Definitely got to plug Summer of Champions 7 going down in the building. All the championships will be on the line. Come down and check out some reality of wrestling. If you like some WWE, you're gonna love some reality of wrestling, because we got the hottest young talent on the Gulf Coast. Young men, young women trying to break into this business, trying to get that springboard to the next level. And I say, man, I can't speak highly enough of the young men and young women that we have down there. But I say you got to see it. Elvis could come back and he could do the greatest show that there ever was. But if you didn't know he was in town, you ain't gonna go. All right. But we let you guys know August 14th, Reality of Wrestling, Summer of Champions 7. We need to build and sold out, just like the Toyota Center was on Friday. We need World Gym Arena sold out. I'm talking about packed to the gills, to the rafters. It's going to be on, so I'm looking forward to that, as well as Don't miss Thursday, second episode of The Indies with Booker T, special guest Danny Limelight, an indie worker out there that's trying to make it to that next level. And I tell you, Danny Limelight, he's definitely on his way. If you haven't checked out this young man, you need to check him out on YouTube because he's someone that's putting in the work, former military veteran out there putting in the work as well on both sides. So, guys, check out the Indies, 6 p.m. on Thursday. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. It's going to be on. And
I'm excited. Look, the Indies, if y'all didn't see the first episode with Trish Adora, it was such a fun watch. I think that even if you're not an independent wrestling fan, like you only watch WWE or you only watch AEW or whatever, go watch that first episode with Trish Adora and listen to her story of where she came from, her background, how, there's so many similarities between when I've been, listening to all these independent wrestlers give their interviews behind the scenes, right? And there's so many similarities to their stories and all the little things that the independent scene has taught them. And also, I guess we can tease it slightly. There will be a special guest, right, on one of these episodes or a lot of these episodes coming up.
Yeah. I mean, just throw it out there. We're going to have a special guest, Will Ospreay. Is going to be stepping into the studio for a second just to give us a little bit of insight on his career, man. This is a young man that has traveled all over the world. I call him an international star because he's not just a guy who out there that's doing this. He's like, there again, the Elvis of the independent scene. So, guys, check out Will Ospreay and just listen to this young man. I think you'll be quite pleased with the humility this young man have, and being as good as he is. I think you're gonna take away from that something that you can hold on to, and hope if you're in this business, something that you can run with at the same time. So check it out. It'll be coming up in next couple of weeks. You don't want to miss out on
next couple of weeks. And there might be, on these episodes coming up, there might be some familiar faces that pop up. So just, that's a little tease, right? It's a little tease, something. And again, like you said, the Summer Champions also, if you can't make it in person, if you live in Alaska or Saskatchewan and you can't make the flight,
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia.
It's cold out there. It's cold. It's cold in Nova Scotia, though.
I really didn't think that those were real places when I was a kid. I'm like, oh, this is just like in the movies. Like Nova Scotia is not a place that people live, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it will be live on the Reality Wrestling YouTube channel.
One of the scariest flights I've ever been on was flying into Halifax, Nova Scotia, and it was like a blizzard, man. And we had one of those camera on the plane where you could actually see it inside when you're landing. And we actually were coming down and had to go back up, and make a circle and come back to land again. I was so scared, man. Never want to go back to Halifax ever again in my life.
The people are great, but the scenery kind of sucks.
I'm just saying, man. People in Halifax, man, they cool, man. They definitely cool. And that literally, because it's cold. Hey, man. It's super cold.
I hear you, man. I mean,
definitely. Go ahead.
Well, I think wasn't Roddy Piper from Nova Scotia? That's all I was going to say. Isn't that where he was from originally?
No, he was
something
from
like
Canada,
that?
Man. Might have been from, Nova Scotia.
I was just curious.
If he was, man, more power to him, bro. You got to be tough. You know what I mean? To live in those conditions, man. You got to be, major tough. So if he's from Halifax, man, it explains everything.
It really does, doesn't it?
I'm serious, man. But we got to talk about Money in the Bank. See a lot of people in the chat definitely was digging what was going on last night. John Cena back in the building. That right there, definitely. Road Warrior Pop, man, 85. You know what I mean? Seriously.
Brother.
But stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Bad blood one, and that's a stunning elbow to the face. Oh, and look at this. She's just raking Angela's face across the middle. Oh, my goodness. That's hard to watch.
Oh, Matt, what did you think? Oh, no.
Top rope superplex. Superplex from the champion. If enough damage hasn't been done already to Angela, that has got to be the exclamation point. She's looking for the 450. Oh! From the top rope, she's calling for shooting star press.
Star press.
Shooting star press. Cover 1, 2, 3.
Sucker. Shoop. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Money in the Bank went down last night, and I see people, man. One guy say John Cena's 85 years old. People always want to hate, man.
People suck.
You know, John Cena make his return, biggest pop in the building. You know,
Oh my gosh.
people can say what they want to say about John Cena. People say Cena sucks, but I tell you, you're not gonna. You never know what you miss until it's gone. And John Cena come back. The people in Texas obviously miss the hell out of John Cena because I tell you, the roof was actually hovering at certain times. The cameras were shaking.
They were.
And I haven't seen that in quite some time. Not since the Attitude Era. Since I've seen, like I say, the building shake like that. So people can say what they want to say about John Cena. John Cena made a return to confront Roman Reigns, and we've been asking the question over the last couple of weeks: well, who's left for Roman Reigns? Who's left on the race? He's cleaned out the division. That's pretty much what we've been saying. And then boom, John Cena pops up. Now, just think about if it was The Rock, that showed up, it would have been a huge pop. And the point I'm making is, man, the guys from that era, they still sell. All right, they still give the people that something that they feel inside that they're not feeling right now. So embrace it is what I'm saying. Embrace, a guy like Cena coming back. Embrace a guy like The Rock coming back. I ain't coming back.
So don't count on Booker T. Everybody else embrace them.
But to see John Cena back, even if it's just for a minute, we know how busy this guy is. All right. We know his schedule is packed. And for him to make a moment for the people that made his career, the WWE Universe, said a whole lot about that man. So I give John Cena nothing but props. And if him and Roman Reigns do something, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be sold out to the rafters, and the fans are going to get their money's worth at the end of the night after watching that match.
Well, I will tell you this. They've only locked horns one time before, and it was No Mercy 2018 or something like that, 2019. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I remember it was the night that we did our show in L.A., so whenever that was, because I was in the building, and it was electricity that night at a No Mercy pay-per-view. I can only imagine what it is now with Roman Reigns being head of the table, but here's the thing I got to give credit to WWE for. I got to give them a lot of credit for the end of this show. Because the end of this show could have gone really, really bad in a lot of ways. Because you have Roman Reigns, you have Edge. Roman is actually getting a true heels reaction from the fans, which I was surprised at. I was thinking, you know what, the fans are going to start cheering Roman because he's so awesome now as the heel. But they're not. They're actually giving him the real booze. Edge comes back to a hero's ovation, one of the biggest pops of the night. Definitely SmackDown on Friday, it was so loud for Edge. They go 33 minutes, and it ends in a disqualification, right? Seth Rollins gets involved, whatever. Or I guess it wasn't disqualification. It was a, ref bump, whatever. Screwy finish. Seth gets involved. That could really put a sour taste in people's mouth who just watched a match for 33 minutes, right? The babyface kind of goes under in this, screwy way. And then what WWE did when they brought out Cena, they instantly took your mind off of what just happened in the match with Edge, like the finish of it. They present Cena in front of Roman, and then you walk out that night knowing you're going to get Edge versus Seth Rollins for the first time ever. and you're going to get John Cena versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, and it automatically got me excited to see both of those matches next month in Las Vegas, right? They did a really, really good job of setting that up, and I did not see the Cena return coming. I didn't read anything about it online. I didn't have any inkling that he was going to be at Money in the Bank, so it was a genuine surprise for me, so I thought that they did a really, really good job at the end of that show.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a throwback.
Yeah.
As far as we talk about the next pay-per-view, and we already got 2 matches made already. Okay, that's something that we haven't done that in quite a while. The interest has always been the payoff. Payoff is always the match that these guys deliver at the end of that. The trash talk. The guy getting screwed and whatnot over and over the past month. We got over a month to build this thing as well. So I like it. I like it on every form, from every angle. This is the way it should be done on a regular, in order to, like you said a second ago, you automatically felt a certain way. And that's what the wrestling business is. It's about feelings, making people feel something inside because they know what they're watching. All right. They know what they paid to see. It's just like going to see, Romeo and Juliet or Phantom at the Opera. You on Broadway and you in New York City. If you walk in there and those guys are half-assing it, you're going to want your money back. All right. You're going to say, man, this is not what I thought I was going to, this is not what I pictured for all these years. Those actors, they do it the same exact way every night. It's like going to Cirque du Soleil. All right. You ever go watch one time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, it's going to look the exact same way. But more importantly, you're going to feel the exact same way every time you watch it. You go, damn it, this is a good show.
Great, yeah.
No, I'm serious.
It always works.
That's what the business is. It really, truly is. And I'm just glad to see it getting back to that.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think fans were the missing ingredient. John Cena coming back, and he looks great. You never know when a guy and the thing is this, John Cena, I mean, he's been on television since 2002, right? He's been off WWE TV for like the last 2 years, essentially. 18 months, 2 years, somewhere around there. You don't really know, right? Like even when you were coming back in 2012 or whenever it was, or 2011, you were coming back for the Royal Rumble. I'm sure you were standing in Gorilla thinking, okay, I think that they're going to pop for this, but maybe they don't. I haven't been on WWE TV in 3 years or 2 years or whatever it was at that, 4 years, right? You're not sure. I'm sure John Cena just was all smiles, right? Knowing that the fans reacted the way that they did, and they were genuinely excited to see a guy who at one point they did not want to see at their television on a weekly basis.
The thing is, they wanted to see him. They had to do their work.
They had to,
and people they're going to hate no matter what. John Cena, I've said it before, he's never been the greatest wrestler in the world, never been the greatest technical guy in the world, high flyer or anything like that. But when it comes to going out there doing what we just talked about, and that is Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, Phantom of the Opera, there's nobody better. There's nobody better in the WWE that's going to go out there and give the fans that. So me personally, I love everything about John Cena and him being back, and hopefully we'll get everything we want out of this thing.
Absolutely. Well, we have a couple of super chats that we need to address.
What?
And here it goes right here. Here's our first one.
Super chat. There it is.
Bertrand Soup, I think with the $5 We appreciate you watching all the way from the great continent of Australian country. Hey, guys, why do you think the WWE never gave Cena a proper heel run?
I think it's kind of like the same thing, with Hogan, in the WWE, WWF. It was about keeping that guy true to the game, having that baby face that's going to run it all the way to the end. Can you see Ricky the Dragon Steamboat being a heel?
No. Well, I don't think he never was a heel once, was he?
I don't never remember Ricky Steamboat ever being a heel. But the thing is, could he play that role? Of course he could. Of course he could play that role. But some people, like a John Cena, is one of those guys that I don't think you need to try to flip-flop back and forth to try to get anything out of. John Cena he's been one thing since the beginning of his career, took off, and that is to be the face of the company. You can send this guy anywhere. He's going to be able to represent to the fullest. I don't think you want to tarnish that. I don't think you want to put a dark side to that, especially when you don't have to. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
I agree. I mean, part of me always wanted to see him go heel, but we actually did see John Cena as a heel in the very beginning of his Thugonomics run, right? I mean, when he was going out there and ripping, I think he and Undertaker had a feud back then. So we saw it before, and I just think that he had gotten to such, to put it in your terms, that Hulk Hogan level. He was the ultimate good guy. You go to any wrestling show back in the mid-2000s up until like 2014, 15, there were so many kids who were there to see John Cena, right? And so many people who really looked up to him in the same way people looked up to Hogan. We said, let's say your prayers, take your vitamins, brother, right? They took that never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect. They took that as a credo, as almost their religion for these young kids, right?
Yeah.
And to take your idol and then all of a sudden make him the opposite of someone who doesn't have desirable qualities, who you don't want to grow up to be like. I think that WWE actually did make the right call in that regard, right? I think that it was the right move. 2020 hindsight. I was one of the people with the picket sign, busting down the doors in Stamford saying, turn them heel, right? But looking back at it, they made the right decision to never do it.
I feel like they made the right decision. Like I said, John Cena's not a guy that you really need to do anything with other than just leave him alone, and you're going to make some money. Guys, you're in the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
This is Booker T World Gym Arena in Texas City, the home to the Reality of Wrestling Training Center. It's a 20,000 square foot facility with more than 50 full-time students and wrestlers from around the world. Inside the World Gym Arena sits a 9,000 square foot venue set up for weekly shows.
From up top, 1-2 moonsault.
Where our students showcase their skills in front of a live audience.
What he's done here is awesome. He's created opportunity, and he's creating great talent, as you guys well know.
In the back, a full weight room.
6 up.
Complete with state-of-the-art equipment and personal trainers.
There you go. Two more.
A full staff and office personnel.
One more.
Running the day-to-day operation. We have interview sets for TV production, promo classes, quarterly combines. We evaluate progression and team building. Referees, commentators, ring announcers, and live television production. At the World Gym Arena, we don't just teach you how to become a professional wrestler, but an elite sports entertainer. This is Reality of Wrestling.
Shoop! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Again, guys, don't miss the next edition of the Indies with Booker T. That's going to be Thursday, 6 p.m. Central. Same time we start this show right here, guys. I need all of you guys to check it out. Next guest is going to be indie star Danny Limelight. Don't want to miss this young man's story about the struggle out there on the independent circuit. You got to love this business in order to make it. It ain't it ain't one of those glamour games when you first get into it, man. Eating out of a can, tuna fish.
Yeah, not the most fun.
I remember when I went to Japan the first time, I took about $150 worth of canned goods. I had roast beef, turkey, tuna. I had ramen noodles. I had everything, man, my first year. I ain't spent no money over there. I was in my room. I had this little gimmick, you warm the water up, you know what I mean? I was roughing it, man. I was in a hotel room in Japan where I could put my arms out and touch both sides of the room.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's how big my room was in Japan. My feet was hanging off the bed. They don't make hotel rooms over there for guys 6 feet 3 inches tall. I can only imagine what my brother. Then again, they do. If you if you're in the high rent district, after some years, me and my brother, we finally got an upgrade to the Keo Plaza. And
they said these two might be around for a little while.
Yeah. Once you
give them a shot.
Once you get moved up to the Keo Plaza, boom, you in, man. Because guess what?
What's that?
Denny's right down the street.
Whew.
Sizzler right down the street. Everything. You good. No more yakitori.
Which is just what?
Chicken on the stick.
Chicken on a stick.
It sounds good. Doesn't it?
Sounds like you're ordering the most expensive thing on the menu.
Give me all the yakitori. Yakitori. It sounds like you ordering up something.
Sounds great. Chicken on a stick. The T-shirts are coming soon. Chicken on a stick. Yeah, here it goes.
Super chat.
This is from Stellar Justin Lopez. Best Money in the Bank event since Punk versus Cena in 2011. So many layers and so much drama that makes sense for both stories. I think he's referring to the what we saw at the very end of the show with
what are we talking about? Cena and Punk there, right?
Yeah, 2011 Cena and Punk Money in the Bank. That was the match after the big pipe bomb moment from CM Punk where he wins the title and jumps through the crowd and puts it in his refrigerator.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
Those are the good old days.
Good old days.
It does seem like that was a 2011.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a decade ago.
It doesn't even really feel like that long ago. I mean, CM Punk has been out of the business there now for what? 7 years?
Yeah, since 2014. Yeah, so
wow,
it was 8. Man.
It's amazing, man. I don't know if you can make a run after being out that long.
It's a long time.
Then again, I'm sure you could. It just would be hard. Just because the business has changed, your mindset has changed more than anything. For me, like people say, man, why'd you retire? Like, man, I got older. I started thinking about other stuff. I started trying to, do other things. I didn't want to beat my body up, but people think, man, you should be able to go forever, and I get it, but it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work.
We definitely have more Money in the Bank to get into, but first another
super chat. Who?
This is from Ultra Pac, $4.99. Balor returned on this past Friday. Will he finally get his due, getting the Universal title, or will Roman continue to dominate until he faces Rock? That's a great point there from Ultra Pac. The Prince is back. He came out and confronted Sami Zayn on SmackDown in Houston. He did get a great ovation. I will say his entrance is an entrance that also needs fan participation.
Yeah.
So when he does this kind of gimmick thing
the
lights come up,
you know what I mean?
It's awesome.
Yeah. No, Finn Balor. Man, I'm glad to see him back on the main roster. I think he's better on the main roster. Not saying that he didn't add a whole lot to NXT, but I just think he was so much bigger than the guys that's in NXT. It's almost like I would say NXT is a small pond or anything like that, but
sure,
he's definitely like a shark swimming in, a lake. Let's just say that. Just because. There again, star power is what we're looking for. And Finn Balor, any way you look at it, this guy's a star.
Yes.
I like of course, the demon character is something that's totally way out there, but so cool at the same time. It's like Doja Cat.
We got to, by the way, remind me to bring up something about Doja Cat.
I just want to say that Doja Cat. I know, like, wait a minute. How do those two? I just want to say I'm a fan of Doja Cat now, man.
I like Doja Cat.
Fan of Doja Cat. over this ride to Dallas because I had Sirius XM, and I heard Doja Cat going and coming, bro, and she's pretty good, So I said, let me check out Doja Cat. Let me look up look up her videos and check out some of the videos. Doja Cat's pretty good, and also I gotta keep myself up on game.
You have to.
Because I asked my son and my daughter, they're 10 years old. I say, do you guys know who Doja Cat is? And it goes, yeah, we know who Doja Cat is. She's just a little bit more vulgar than what's the
Cardi B?
Heidi. What's her name?
Oh, Meg Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion, yeah. She's just a little bit more vulgar than Megan Thee Stallion. I go, what the hell? How do they know this? You know what I mean? So I said, I better check out Doja Cat. And I tell you, she's out there, man. She's out there. I wonder if she write her own music.
I think she does. She's very good. I got to be honest with you. I'm actually, more times I see her, I'm very impressed by what she does. Now, she does have this one song. I'm trying to pull up the lyrics as we speak. Have you heard the song with her and another female rapper named Saweetie?
Kiss Me More or something like that?
Not Kiss Me More. This one's called Best Friend. Have you heard this one?
No, I haven't heard that one.
So there's a lyric in this song.
I may have.
So here's the song. Okay, then here's the lyric. I want you to listen to this, and I want you to react to this live, okay? Because this actually has a tie-in to Booker T. I'm not lying. This has a tie-in to Booker T. Ready? This is what Saweetie says. Beep, beep, is that my Bessie in a Tessie? Fresh blowout, skin on 10, ooh, she ready. B, you look good with a T at the end. I'm a hyper every time, that's my mother effing friend. You look good with a T on the end.
Yeah, they stole my stuff, man. It's good, man. I like it. I like it. I like it. I'm going to tell you, in the word good.
Good.
That's something I've been saying since the 90s.
Yes.
It's something I've been using that word since the 90s, and I don't know anybody else. So I appreciate that, Doja Cat. You know what I mean? For giving Booker T a shout out. Incognito, baby. It's all good.
Have you seen Saweetie, the other rapper, by the way? Have you ever seen Saweetie?
Yeah. She pretty hot too.
Saweetie's nice.
Yeah, she pretty hot. I mean, definitely a tag team that can't lose.
Viking Raiders. Get them out of here.
Doja
Cat and Saweetie.
Bro, I'm going to tell you, man, Doja Cat, she definitely, she got the nod. I'm going to be looking out for a lot more Doja Cat coming up here in the future. Where we at, man?
Okay. We were talking about Finn Balor coming back. I think it's a good moment for him.
Yeah.
Good moment for him to be back in front of SmackDown. We'll see what happens with him and Sami Zayn. I don't think, though, to answer the guy's question, I don't think that he's anywhere near the Universal title picture right now. It looks like Cena and Roman has that locked up at the moment. Anything can change.
I'm gonna tell you, Finn Balor being back on the main roster, he's gonna have to work, man. He's gonna have to. It's almost like you got your 1 through number 10 contenders. Finn Balor's right now, I would say he's like at number 10, and he's gonna have to work his way back up to that number 1 spot through his performance. Okay, through his performance and that alone. So I'm gonna tell you right now, if Finn Balor is lucky enough to have a dance partner like a Sami Zayn, that's going to be definitely one for him to be able to go out there and create some magic in a match like that and let the world see exactly what Finn Balor is all about, because you can say it. I'll say it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. If you ain't making the fans feel you in the ring, like there again, Ricochet, top independent wrestler before WWE signed him. Now, Ricochet, he's ranked like number 14. All right. Just because you can fly doesn't mean you can go out there and make those people feel what they want to feel. And then if you can fly, man, that's just adding icing on the cake. Just let me see that Shakespearean performance and give me some high flying at the same time. And you got a guy like Finn Balor that can go out there and be not just a top superstar on the roster, the top star on the roster. And I say that because I don't look at his size or anything like that when you perform in a certain way. And I say that because I look at Rey Mysterio. And I've never looked at Rey Mysterio's size. I've always looked at his performance over everything. That's what I've always looked at. And Finn Balor, as well as guys like Ricochet, got to figure that out. Stick around, guys. You're in the hall. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I was just reading the super chat. We got a super chat. Let's get into that super chat right now, man. Let's get into it.
Okay, this is here we go.
Super chat.
This is Roland Curtis with $24.99.
Oh,
Super chat. We appreciate you, Roland. Respectfully, they must be spiking the food in Texas. First, Brad said that Michael Cole was a great or good wrestling commentator, and then Booker T said Natalya was the greatest female wrestler of all time. Oh man, we're getting shots.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Let me answer mine. I said greatest female superstar in WWE history. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I didn't say wrestler. Let's read. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't say wrestler.
Superstar.
I said best female superstar in WWE's history, and I say that because of the time that she's put in. I think about the longevity. Natalya has outlasted every other woman that has ever come along in this business and worked in that position, in that company. Now, there's a lot of women that you could say that are better wrestlers. You could say a lot of guys that were better wrestlers than I am, or I was. But I lasted over 20 years active in the middle of the ring. I closed a wrestling company down, and I that's what I'm thinking about when I say Natalya. She's won championships. She's been there the longest, as well as she's that carpenter in the locker room for all the rest of those ladies that's coming up. They look at her with a whole lot of respect. And I'm going to tell you right now, Roland, I can almost guarantee you 99.99% of them hope they last as long as Natalya did. What would you give up the championship run for that longevity? I think I would, me personally.
Yeah, no, I agreed with what you said about Natalya. When you look at her stats, look at what she was able to do. She broke a lot of barriers for her. This is also a woman who was able to expand the WWE female audience in conjunction with people like the Bella Twins by doing Total Divas. They brought in a lot of new viewership. She's responsible for a lot of changes in that women's division, and coming through and having that heart stamp on you, right? You have a lot to live up to. You have a lot to live up to if you're a heart member of the Hart. Your dad's not Jim the Anvil. Your uncle's Bret Hart. All your Uncle Owen. Everybody who did something for the Hart family. She came in and she lived up to the legacy of her last name. She should be applauded for just that alone. But then she didn't let that stop her. She became Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, Divas Champion, Women's Tag Team Champion. Performed in Saudi Arabia for the first woman to ever do that, along with Lacey Evans, I believe, was her dance partner that night. She's gotten to do a lot of incredible things.
I want to hear Roland response to that right there, but I see another super chat.
Oh, he does have another super chat, and then we'll get to the Michael Cole of it all. But Roland with another
super chat.
Roland Curtis, another 20. Okay, respectfully to Natalya's contributions outside the ring of being the first woman to perform in Saudi Arabia, like I just said, can you name Natty's greatest accomplishments or her most memorable storylines? We just listed the accomplishments.
I don't think that's what it's about. That's for the fan. To be able to think about most memorable moments, and if that's what they think, what create greatness in one, I just beg to differ. I look at Natalya's whole body of work. Even when she steps away from the ring, Natalya is still going to be a part of the ring. So I just look at Natty like that, and I give her that props as far as being the greatest female superstar in WWE's history, because I don't know any other female in WWE that has done what she's done. Is still doing it.
And hasn't missed a step. It's not like, oh man, Natalya used to be.
And the thing is, I'm not going to even say how old Natalya is, but for her to still be doing it at this level, at her age, is extraordinary.
I don't even know how old she is, and that's like not even a thought that's ever occurred to me.
When we had Natalya on the show, I gave her all that praise, and I refused to ask her how old she was. I know, but that's here nor there. She's still great at the age that she is right now. You can go and look it up, Roland. And she's still hanging with all of the young girls. I'm talking about the way she looks as well, the way she works in the ring, what she does on the microphone. She has kept up with the times. The times has not passed Natalya by, even still now, to this day in 2021. That's just that again. That's just my opinion. And me calling her the greatest female superstar in WWE's history, that's just my opinion too.
So
somebody else may think someone else. But I think once they start thinking, they all go round back to Natalya.
So to go back though to what you said, or what Roland said regarding Michael Cole, are people really still on that train of Michael Cole's not a good announcer? Do people really still think that?
Well, thing is, people don't understand.
That's
That's what it is.
They don't understand how hard of a job that is.
People get, they rip Michael Cole, but they really don't understand the detail of that business. Excuse me, not that business, but that job, and what that job really entails, and how hard it really, really truly is, and how good Michael Cole really, truly is. You just can't, think you can talk and do that job. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to be working 3 different jobs at one time. You got to know, you got to have so much in your head. I tell you, I don't know anyone that does it better than look here, people could say, oh, he's kissing up to the company or whatever. I don't kiss up. It's just not something that I do. Michael Cole is damn good at what he does. And I challenge anybody to step into that spot and think that they could do it better. I'm just being as serious as I possibly can.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's almost like I've been watching some of these Olympic trials, right? And I watched the what is it called? The long jump, the high jump or whatever, where they jump over the pole vault. Thank you. Couldn't think of the word. And when you look at it, you're like, how hard could that be? right? Like, how hard could it be? Right. Like, this is the thought that was going in my mind the other day. I'm like, they're just running and they're putting the stick in the ground. How hard could it be? It's extremely difficult. Like, I'm aware how extremely, and you have to be very, very skilled in order to pull that off to make it look easy to somebody like me, right? If Michael Cole is out there and he is so flawless with his transitions, how he sets up his other commentators, how he gets in the network plug, the Peacock plug. Don't forget the song of SummerSlam is this, that, and the other. Oh, remember, let's call back to this. Let's show you this video package. Let's call for the replay. Everything that he doesn't mess up either. Rarely do you hear him hiccup over his words. Yeah. He's very fluid. He's very cognizant. He's present. He's in the moment. There's so many great qualities about that guy who I don't know why people don't want to highlight them, and I really can't see what people say is bad. Well, is it? And I think all it really is it's an affinity for nostalgia and hearing voices like Jim Ross or hearing voices like Gorilla Monsoon or whoever you liked as your color commentator, Tony Schiavone maybe. People were so accustomed to that they look at Michael Cole as the guy who came in with frosted tips and a goatee, back in the early 2000s or whatever. The guy is
I tell
incredible.
You're exactly right, and just a little caveat to that right there. In sports, the most people die doing the pole vault. So try Michael Cole's job.
Really?
If you want.
You think it's that easy?
If you want to die.
If you want to die. Try it.
Because you be sitting there wondering, man, I'm ready to go. Go ahead.
Roland's back with another comment here. We're probably going to pick this up in the next segment, but here he goes.
Super chat.
Longevity is good. Booker T is the greatest king because it's the most memorable, and you won the world title in the same year. For me, Trish Stratus is the greatest female superstar of all time. Trish is in the convo. Absolutely.
Yeah, Trish is definitely in the conversation, but how long did we see Trish?
I think her run was only like 6 years.
Exactly my point. That's my point. Yeah. That's my point. Trish did a lot of great things, but when you measure side by side the body of work, Natalya's is going to be much longer. And the thing is, you got to think about doing this as long as Natalya has done it, without getting injured and being on the shelf. She's been accustomed. She's been a signature in this company since 2008.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
Like I say, I know that's an argument that we could have all night long. You know what I mean? And you know what? And I'm willing to have it. But like I said, that's just my opinion. Trish Stratus, she's definitely high on my list. I always say when a female superstar, when a female get into this business and think about what it means to be a superstar, when they open the book, Trish Stratus' picture is right by it.
Yeah.
I'm serious because she is definitely leaps and bounds ahead of the game when she was doing it. She was before her time. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. It's about to get good off up in this mug. Doja Cat, give me a shout. Give me a shout. I know you out there checking me out. But whoa, man. We still talking about we got no super chat. I feel like what is that?
LTK Music says, I feel like 03 Booker T.
What the hell that mean?
I don't know. I don't know. And then
03 Booker T was badass, man.
03 Booker T was pretty dope.
Had the short dreads, OG, man. OG, raw dog. Always looking for a fight. You know what I mean? Back in the day. Very, very, very confrontational. And the thing is, still is.
Don't mess with him.
You know what I mean?
Don't do it.
I took my shirt off in the locker room yesterday, and Pat McAfee, he goes, Book. I'm gonna go tell Ariel Helwani he don't want to be messing with you. He goes, brother, you work out every day. I go, brother, I work out 3 days hard, 3 days light, and 1 day off.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Normally I'm just doing 2 days a week. But yeah, man, working out hard.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that McAfee would want to try you. I think we got Booker frozen here for a second. Book, can you see us? I think Booker's frozen here for a minute, everybody at home. It's all right, we'll get him back here momentarily. BT? Huh.
Hopefully, there we go. There we go, Brad.
There we are.
You with me?
Yes.
All right, let's pick back up there. We lost about a minute there.
We lost about a minute, but we're good. We're good.
All right.
But again, Helwani.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man.
Bro, I was in the yard working all day today, man. I said, man, I'm gonna lose 3 pounds a day working in the yard. And it's gonna be all around my waistline. You know what I mean? Coming in slim and trim. You know what I mean? 34-inch waist. 20-inch guns, and will hurt somebody if need. No, I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing.
We had another
super chat.
They're from 5 British pounds, I do believe, from Jason Maroney. Says nothing. Just sends over the money.
Hey,
we appreciate you.
Hey, Jason. Hey, we appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you. That's all the way from the UK. I heard they let Americans back in the UK now that's been vaccinated. Was that Canada? I tell you, this thing's getting crazy all over again with this COVID, man, and people not wanting to take this vaccine. Guys, don't believe in the conspiracy, man. If y'all want to get back to normal, take the damn vaccine.
Just do it.
I mean, I got the Moderna. I feel good. My family got it. If I could do anything to convince people to take that damn vaccine so we can get back to normal and quit listening to people. You know what? People always talk about, people saying things to scare us. To tell someone not to take the vaccine, that's the scariest thing I ever heard of in my life. So, guys, don't fall for the hype. Take the damn vaccine because right now in California, everybody mask up.
Yeah, they had to put it back on.
I was just looking at some sheriff saying he ain't enforcing nothing. It's got crime going on. And the thing is, he's right. He's right. He's 100% right. He should not have to police somebody wearing a mask or not, because they shouldn't have to wear them. They really shouldn't. But some people want to take the vaccine, some people don't. And that's why California right now is on the brink of, you know what? It's going to be chaos. You see all these people, I mean, like on the airplanes, people fighting on the airplane because they don't want to wear their mask. They get kicked off the airplane because they don't want to wear a mask. Now, that person probably got to fly on a regular basis, perhaps. Perhaps not. But they're banned from flying ever again on this airline because of something stupid like that. And all it is people are frustrated. People are tired. I understand it. I get it. But that's what we are in the world because people are saying, don't take the vaccine. That's why all of this kind of crap is happening. I could be wrong, but I don't think so on this. Guys, we got to get in line on this because, I'm ready. I'm ready to leave the country. I'm ready to go out of the country. I'm ready to go make some money. And I need you guys to do it. Let's get this up. What we got in the super chat?
Yeah. This was Jason Maroney. This is the message he wanted. Yo, Book and Brad, I've always wanted to know what is the music that plays in the initial countdown segment on the streams. Jason, just tweet me and I'll give you the link to it. But anyway, Book, we're back. We're back in business. Well, let's talk about Money in the Bank a little bit.
What you got, man? I mean,
I say let's start off here because this guy wants to know about it. Bobby Lashley and Kofi Kingston. SS9 Bajita Introtainment says, poor Kofi K. Bobby L. destroyed that boy.
Hey, man. I was talking to Bobby right before he went out last night. And I said, Bobby, don't give him nothing. All right. I said, you beat that boy and you beat him like he stole something and you beat him till he says, please just don't beat me anymore. That's what, and Bobby looked at me and said, Book, you don't like Kofi? I go, no, it's not about Kofi. It's about you. And that's exactly what happened. He went out and dealt with a cruiserweight the way you're supposed to deal with a cruiserweight when you're a heavyweight, when you're a monster, when you're destruction, when you bring mayhem. That's what happens. Nothing against Kofi Kingston, okay? It had nothing to do with Kofi, but it went exactly the way I drew it up.
Well, you know what? You are correct on that. I mean, I remember you talking about it on the show, saying that's what needs to happen to continue the path of Bobby Lashley.
It's like Tommy Morrison, with Rocky. You got to dog him. You got to do what you got to do to get Balor back in that ring. That's what it was about, man. It was about dogging him. It was about ragtagging him. It was about like what they used to say back in the day in the wrestling game, beating him from pillar to post. That's what it was about. It was about the heavyweights are taking over the business. The big man is coming back to stay in this business. I like the guys like Kofi Kingston that can run around and fly. We should give them their own division, okay? Maybe that's what it's going to take for these guys to quit trying to run up and think that they can, get in there and compete with someone like Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar of the world, the Almoses, What do you think's supposed to happen? Kofi Kingston is very, very talented. And trust me, by no means did I not think for one moment Kofi could go out there, somehow slip on a banana peel and, get a victory. Somehow, yeah, it could have happened, but not on Sunday night with Bobby Lashley.
It wasn't the night for him.
Yeah.
It wasn't the night for old Kofi.
Just like I drew it up, beat on him.
But let me ask you this. Because the rumor is that this match with Kofi Kingston and Bobby Lashley was just to make Bobby look even that much more stronger, not for the match that we've all been wanting to see of him and Brock Lesnar. But it looks like, and we'll find out tonight on Raw, it looks like it might be Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg at SummerSlam. That's the rumored match. Now anything's possible. It could change.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Goldberg in the gym training. He posted some stuff last week and saying, still going strong at 54. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's easy to look good in the gym. But when you got to step out there face to face with Bobby Lashley,
Yeah.
a man right now who is the scariest black man in America. I know people gonna eat that up. No, but this dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, Bobby Lashley ain't the type of dude you run up on in the bar and say, "Hey man, you do that wrestling stuff," because he will hurt you. He will stretch you out. He could do something very, very bad to you. He can whip you like a rag doll, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, yeah, I'm liking the era of Bobby Lashley in the Hurt Lock, in the Hurt Business. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame.
It's historically the biggest night in reality of wrestling's calendar year. It's the Summer of Champions. A night where new champions are crowned, familiar faces are seen, and iconic moments occur. Some of the biggest battles, some of the most heated rivalries, all come to a head at the Summer of Champions. This year's main event will feature the Texas champion Will All Day taking on the Reality of Wrestling champion Cameron Cole in a title unification bout. All goes down live August the 14th on the Reality of Wrestling YouTube channel and live in Texas City. It is the Summer of Champions 7.
Sucker! Yeah! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. Man, yeah, man. Bobby Lashley, he did his job. He did his work. What we got? Super chat.
Matthew Jenkins on Bobby Lashley. He says Bobby Lashley had a Ron Simmons type anger in his performance last night. Domination. I love Kofi, by the way, and I cried. That's from Matthew Jenkins.
Yeah, man. I like that part of the business, man. It wasn't no playing about that match. It was real.
Yeah.
You could feel what was going on in that match. You had a lot of sympathy for Kofi Kingston in that match. Kofi Kingston would have started coming back, and doing his stuff, and then do his what's the name of the kick?
The Thunder in Paradise?
Thunder in Paradise. He do that. He hit Bobby, get a cover, 1-2, kick out. That's what, people thought that they was going to see. They thought they was going to see a match. And see, that's what a business, I think, needs to switch gears just a little bit. Because it ain't about going out there and having a match sometimes. It's about going out there and beating the hell out of somebody and, making the fans feel a certain way. Not about Kofi Kingston, but about Bobby Lashley. Now, when you see Bobby Lashley, you say, man, that's a bad man. Especially after what he's done, to last three opponents.
Yeah.
Including Drew McIntyre. So this guy, I think we need to give him his due and put the rocket on him, put the jetpack on him, send him straight to the moon. And, let's get the payoff at the end of the day. And it just had to be at the liberties of the Kofi Kingston, okay?
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? I mean, people were making the comparisons to what happened to Kofi at that SmackDown, the first SmackDown show on Fox, right, with him and Brock. And
But think about it, though. Think about it. Kofi Kingston is, I don't know how much he weighs, but he's nowhere near as big as Brock Lesnar. So what Brock Lesnar did, it's believable.
Yeah.
Okay, it's believable to me. Okay, and so I'm thinking like this here. Just think about this for 1 second. Just think about this for one moment. Everybody loves Conor McGregor. Let Conor McGregor's ass run in there on Francis Ngannou and see what happens. And how quick?
Realistically speaking.
No, I'm just being serious here. So when people take this thing out of context, that's where, it crosses with me a little bit, because I know everybody, quote unquote, want to see a good match. But damn it, it ain't about a good match. All right, it's really not until it's time for me to see a good match. All right, but every match on the card is not to be a good match. So I just need people to understand that this thing is real, and what Bobby Lashley is doing and creating right now is real. And I say, get on the bandwagon and enjoy the ride of the big man, because he's back.
You gotta have a big man, and that's why I can see them going for, hey, look, maybe we can't get Brock. Maybe Brock's not interested. I don't know if you've seen Brock Lesnar lately. He's been, hanging out in butcher shops, growing his hair long. He looks like he's having a fine time not performing in the ring. So if you can't get Brock, I understand why your next idea would be, let's bring in Bill Goldberg. I just don't know if the fans, and this is the only way I'm looking at it, the fans want to see Bill Goldberg necessarily in a world title match, when we just saw him in a world title match 6 weeks ago.
Let me tell you something, Brad.
6 months ago.
Look here. Hold on a second.
What?
I beg to differ. You know what I mean?
Let me hear it.
Because if it was me, if I was Bobby Lashley, after I beat the hell out of Kofi Kingston, the first thing I would have did was like the UFC. I would have did a call out. I want Goldberg's old ass, and I'm gonna break him down. That's who I want next. I want Goldberg next. That's what I would have been saying. Okay, just that right there for me. It's money, dog. It's money. That's money. Now tell me right now, if you wouldn't feel that, you wouldn't have, because it's me. I'm like this here. Harlem Heat. After we ran through the division, we called out the Rock and Roll Express. Okay, we say, come out of retirement if you dare. Midnight Express. Where are you guys? We were Tommy Wildfire Rich, and whoever. We wanted all the old, and all that did was just put heat on us. It was like somebody calling out Evander Holyfield right now, one of these young guys, or one of these young guys calling out Mike Tyson. Now we got some intrigue. Are you feeling what I'm saying here now, Bradley?
I feel you.
Do you feel that?
I feel you. I do feel you. I hear you. I just don't know.
But more importantly, how does that feel?
I mean, when you sell it to me, it sounds good. We'll see. We'll see what they do. I mean, look, the thing is this. If Bobby goes out there and he just, locks horns with Goldberg, they beat each other up. Goldberg spears Bobby once or twice. Bobby big kick out and then dominates him for the rest of the match. Kind of like what happened with Drew.
See, the thing is, we ain't looking for you thinking about a match. I'm thinking about
it is at SummerSlam. It's it's a wrestling show where they have these things called wrestling matches.
The thing is, sometimes a match is called for. Sometimes it's not.
So you're saying this would be a fight?
Right now, Goldberg, take nothing away from my friend. He's a good friend of mine.
Sure.
All right. But Goldberg is like, even though I hate keep going back to the Rocky reference, but Rocky 5.
Right. He's okay. Rocky in Rocky 5?
Right now. He's Rocky in Rocky 5 now.
Right.
When it's when he's in Russia, right?
No, Rocky, that's Rocky 4.
Rocky 4, that's what I mean. He's Rocky in Rocky 4 now. All right. You remember they was in the Born, right?
Right.
And Apollo Creed's trainer told him, okay, we can't count on our speed, you know what I mean? Because, the arthritis, done kicked in. He said we can't, think about our, elusiveness or anything like that because all of that is gone. But the one thing that still left in the furnace is power. So that's the only thing that they worked off of. So Goldberg still got the power. Okay, so
he does.
Be thinking about a match and how long, how many rounds we're gonna go. Like Rock, we got to get in there, and it's got to be quick. Okay, and we got to get him out of there. Okay, so we got to think about this and this only because we ain't got but 3 rounds in us, baby. That's what he said. about 3 rounds in us, and then everything's gonna be downhill from there. So with Goldberg, we ain't got but about 3 minutes in us, and everything's gonna be downhill after that. So we got to get in there and figure. So that's the way I'm thinking with a match with Bobby Lashley against Goldberg.
I mean,
see that?
I
just sold that damn match right there. Everybody in the chat want to see it. Everybody.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. The thing is this. Like last time, I was all in on Goldberg, Drew McIntyre. I really liked that matchup between the two of them. And I liked it on paper. And then the match was what it was. It wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen. No, it wasn't. But was it tough? Was it brutal? Was it physical for 6 minutes or 5 minutes? Sure. I just don't know. I just don't know if we want. I feel like it'd be the same match. Yeah. And I guess again, I'm thinking in match terms again, but I feel like we'd be watching a similar thing. Whereas if I see Goldberg, I want Goldberg to come out, beat the hell out of somebody for 2 minutes, jackhammer him, spear him like he did Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam.
Bro,
spear him, jackhammer him, send him home.
Look here, you know
happy.
What?
1, 2, 3.
You just made my point for me, man.
How?
You just made my point for me.
How?
Dolph Ziggler versus Goldberg, a guy that's much bigger, even though he's older, he's still a heavyweight. Dolph Ziggler's he's not quite a heavyweight. I can see Goldberg going out there doing that with someone like Dolph Ziggler. But now Goldberg is in there with someone like Bobby Lashley. Okay, it's going to be a little bit of a shift in the game right there. So Bobby Lashley, Goldberg, it's a great matchup. It's going to be quick. It's going to be very quick. I know a lot of people don't want to see Goldberg go down like that, but sometimes it bees that way. But we got another segment. We got one more. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. So the Young Bucks, I had heard about these guys, but I didn't know them or anything like that. And they had a WWE tryout. And these two guys, they were, hanging in the hallways. It seemed like they were, I don't know, they were kind of like off to themselves. I don't know. I don't know. It just felt funny. And I was getting ready to do I was doing commentating back then, and I had my jacket, laid over this, piece of equipment, and I walked by, and one of the Young Bucks was leaning on my jacket, and I was like, "Hey, bro, that's my jacket right there," and he goes, "Oh, okay," I got my jacket and I walked off, and I was like, I didn't realize it, but they were there for a tryout, and I was like, man, after I realized it, I said something on one of the podcasts or our show or something. These guys didn't even shake my hand, and then next thing you know, it was a big thing going around as far as me not shaking the Young Bucks' hand. And then they started doing a thing online where, they wouldn't shake anybody's hand, and then, they had a thing with RVD,
right,
where they wouldn't shake RVD's hand. So I was like, man, you know what I mean? These guys are taking this thing to another level. Can't wait to see them. So I wanted to fight the Young Bucks. I want to get it to them.
You would have put hands on them.
I want to put hands on them.
Put those Fifth Ward beads on them.
Yeah. And we ended up running into each other at an independent show. And I'm still a little bit hot, And, so we end up talking and whatnot, and we end up getting back around to what happened up in WWE as far as my jacket goes, and they go, bro, reason we didn't say anything to you, man, you're intimidating.
Such sucker.
So the Young Bucks, I had heard about these guys, but I didn't know them or anything like that. And they had a WWE tryout, and these two guys, they were hanging in the hallways. It seemed like they were, I don't know, they were kind of like off to themselves. I don't know. I don't know. It just felt funny. And I was getting ready to do I was doing commentating back then, and I had my jacket, laid over this, piece of equipment, and I walked by, and one of the Young Bucks was leaning on my jacket, and I was like, "Hey, bro, that's my jacket right there," and he goes, "Oh, okay," I got my jacket and I walked off, and I was like, I didn't realize it, but they were there for a tryout, and I was like, man, after I realized it, I said something on one of the podcasts or our show or something. These guys didn't even shake my hand, and then next thing you know, it was a big thing going around as far as me not shaking the Young Bucks' hand. And then they started doing a thing online to where, they wouldn't shake anybody's hand, and then, they had a thing with RVD, where they wouldn't shake RVD's hand. So I was like, man, you know what I mean? These guys are taking this thing to another level. Can't wait to see them. So I wanted to fight the Young Bucks. I want to get it to them.
You would have put hands on them.
I want to put hands on them.
Put those Fifth Ward beads on them.
And we ended up running into each other at an independent show. And I'm still a little bit hot, So we end up talking and whatnot. And, we end up getting back around to what happened up in WWE as far as my jacket goes. And they go, bro, reason we didn't say anything to you, man, you're intimidating.
Sucker.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. We're about to wrap this son of a gun up, man.
We
This
are.
time is going by so quick, man.
It's crazy how fast it's gone by, Book.
The time is going by so fast today, man. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me today as well. All the super chats. We appreciate it, man. But it ain't over yet, man. We still got some more to talk about.
We do. We should probably go through some highlights of Money in the Bank because we've only gotten to talk about 2 matches on the whole card. So let me just get to the high-level items here. Let's get to the high-level items. What do you think, Big E, Mr. Money in the Bank?
The era of the big guys are back. Okay?
Right.
You know why I like Big E winning the Money in the Bank?
Why is that?
Because he's believable. He's believable. I can believe him winning it. And not that, the rest of the talent out there, I couldn't have believed it, but I'm just saying, Big E winning it, Big E cashing the Money in the Bank in, I could believe that.
Sure.
As well as, I like Big E, okay? Big E's one of my guys, and I hope Big E hear this. But I remember Kofi won the championship, and Big E was there, and I pull Big E aside and I say, "Hey, bro, I'll tell you right now, your time is coming." You know what I mean? I say, "Trust me." I say, "Cream always rise to the top." People can say what they want to say as far as, when I made the comment, Big E may need to change this a little bit, in order to make it to the next level. And the thing is, he have made subtle changes. He's not still the same New Day character, even though, one may look at that. But I said, Cream always rise to the top, and you're going to get your shot. This is it. And I'm glad to see him in that position. Definitely. I'm definitely glad to see him. And proud.
When I looked at the field, of everybody who was in the Money in the Bank ladder match, anybody could have conceivably won that match, right? Anybody who was in it, I could have bought as Mr. Money in the Bank. But if I were to tear it out and say who should be Mr. Money in the Bank out of this list, it would have been Big E. I mean, not just that. That's exactly what we said. If you recall, we said Big E should be the one to win the Money in the Bank. I don't know if you remember that. We said that last week. Yeah. When we went through the whole thing, and the thing is, for him, what he's been able to do over there on SmackDown, separating him from the New Day, it was going to be, it was going to be a challenge for Big E, I guess, to find the footing without, having his two compadres with him all the time. And I think that it took him just a couple months, and he really settled into this run as a singles competitor to where he can be very charismatic on the microphone, very believable in the ring. It's kind of the perfect marriage of what Big E was in NXT when he was doing the 5 count and what Big E was character-wise with the New Day. He's found a way to bring those two halves together to make one whole. And I think that him as Mr. Money in the Bank is very compelling, especially if they continue this story. I don't know, maybe he cashes in on Bobby Lashley. And gets back at Bobby for taking out Kofi or whatever, right? There's some stories there. There's some stories there for Big E, and that's what excites me about him.
I agree 100%. What we got next?
Let's talk about Nikki A.S.H. She won the women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah.
Now, this is the former Nikki Cross who...
I saw somebody in the chat earlier say they wasn't feeling that. Nikki Ash, Money in the Bank win. And I don't know. I think with Nikki, we got to let this thing play out.
I agree.
As well as, you guys hear me talk about wrestling all the time, and I always talk about wrestling from a serious aspect most of the times.
Mm-hmm.
But Brad, I always feel like it's always a place for someone like that on the show. But it can only be one.
Yeah,
it could be a bunch of people running around trying to be that gimmick, be that character. So Hurricane was that character in my day. And let's see if Nikki Ash could actually, pull this thing, pull it off. More than anything, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because she's all in. She's working her ass off to try to create something with that. If she wasn't all in, then I would have reservations. But right now, I just want to see how it play out.
I agree, and when I first saw the new gimmick, I was like, "Oh, they're doing this. I don't know how this is going to go over." But then I did think about the Hurricane, all the gimmicks that Gregory Helms had, right? I mean, whether he was Sugar Shane Helms, he part of 3 count, coming into WWE as Hurricane Helms, then transitioning to the Hurricane. The Hurricane is when he was the most over in his entire career, right? I mean, that's the character that he takes to when he does Independence, he shows up as the Hurricane because he was able
to have a scene too.
he was able to commit to that, right?
Yeah.
He was able to commit to it and to make us look. I remember when he was wrestling The Rock as the Hurricane, or he would wrestle the Undertaker or Kane and try to choke slam them. Big Show. It was always so entertaining what he was able to do. Now, could the Hurricane have been the world heavyweight champion at the time?
You know what?
I don't know. That's a different
What
conversation.
I heard him talk about that.
Oh, he did? What did he say?
Actually, him and I was talking about that. He said, no. He said, probably not. It's for holding the world championship. He said, probably not. But there again, it's always a place for someone like that on the card. What else we got?
Let's talk about Charlotte. Charlotte is now, I think, if my calculations are correct, a 14-time. Do I have this right?
I think so.
14-time women's champion.
I said on the kickoff show last night that I felt like Charlotte was going to figure out how to win because she's a champion. She's just a champion. Every time you see Charlotte on television, you want to see her in that championship role, whether you like her or not. And for her performance to always go out and rise to the occasion of championship quality, that right there is what it's all about at the end of the day. And nobody does it better than Charlotte as far as going out there and creating drama and making you believe in what you're watching. The Rip did her job as well, and she's someone that's, she's been sitting under the learning tree of Charlotte for quite some time, going all the way back to NXT. A lot of people don't remember Rhea Ripley was there before, and she looked totally different.
Right.
And left and came back, recreated herself, totally like the $6 million man. We can rebuild him. We can make him better than he was before. We can make him better, stronger, faster. That's the way to rip. Went out there and pulled it off, and now she's a totally different beast. But to go out and do it with Charlotte and do it oh so well, big props to both of those ladies.
Yeah, and the thing is, people complaining, oh my God, I can't believe Charlotte's a 14-time champion. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Well, the thing is this. First of all, she's believable in the role as the champion. They had one of, if not the best match on the card, either that or the main event. And here's the thing. Here's the other thing that people have to remember. Ric Flair was a 16-time world champion, right? Yeah. His daughter now is a 14-time world champion. Okay, that's 30 reigns between the two of them. Do you know what that means? That means they put 30 people over for the title.
Yeah.
It's not like they're not putting anybody over, right? Just sometimes that's the person who's the most believable at the moment so that you can build the other stars around so that whenever somebody does beat Charlotte, oh my God, they didn't just beat Charlotte Flair. They beat Charlotte Flair, the 14-time women's champion. It adds an extra layer on it to help elevate everybody.
I agree 100%. If I was in Mexico.
I believe that's the accurate translation. I'm not sure. But those are the big matches that we should have hit, and I think that now we've got them through. So I think Money in the Bank though overall mega thumbs up from me. It was such a fun show. Yeah, such a fun show.
It was good. It was a damn good show. And if anybody out there didn't like it, hey, maybe you'll like the next one. Hey, right now. Raw is going on in Dallas, Texas. And my sister just gave me a text message. She's in the building, and they're having fun, man. They're having fun. She says, "Good GOODT" right now in the building in D-Town, baby. And so definitely, hopefully they have some fun tonight. But we got to get out of here, man. We got to get out of here. I want to thank all the super chatters today, man, helping us out. I want to thank all the guys that weighed in on the conversation today as far as Money in the Bank. We'll be right back inside the Hall of Fame on Wednesday. So, guys, tune in. Check out the latest news and topics right here inside the Hall of Fame with Booker T, along with my Brad Gilmore, my man. We're going to be doing it. Appreciate you guys. We up out of here.
Can you dig it, you sucker?